going earlier, certainly the first score, especially throughout the game, it was good. Did it feel as good as it looked out there to you?
Yeah, I felt pretty good. I know we needed this game. It's a big-time game for us, and I think everybody kind of knew that, and we went out there and we showed it. Guys really fought their tails off and went out there and was extremely aggressive, and defensively, I think we had a great game plan, and we went out there and executed it.
How often are you looking at the standings? Because you just mentioned about how often you kind of look at the standings, seeing where teams are moving, where you guys are at, things like that.
Yeah, I mean, I'll say I look at it every day because I just watch basketball, and then whenever you watch basketball games, whoever team it is, they bring it up. So, I mean, I see it every day. But right now, I think the main thing that we're focused on is stepping in the right direction. I mean, I feel like guys are, coming back or whatever, and we need to be stepping in the right direction come playoff time. And I think we're doing that right now.
You mentioned after the Milwaukee game that it felt like you guys were finding an identity and how to play without Joe. Obviously, you would love to have him out there, but how important is it for you guys to continue to find this identity without him on the floor?
Yeah, it's extremely important. I mean, going into the NBA season, you don't plan to not have somebody, you know what I mean, especially an MVP like Joe. So, once you get into that situation, you have to kind of reconstruct things, you know what I mean, and reconstruct minutes, rotations, and all that takes time because I was used to playing a little bit in the first and then the whole second. So, now it's reversed. Now I play the whole first. And, so guys have to be adaptable, and I don't know, man. It's been good for us, though. I think guys are playing extremely hard. Shout out to KJ. He came in, played hard today. Mo Bamba and P. Reed were really good today, and they're really good. And then Nico, what he did defensively tonight was a little special. And he's done it a couple times this year, but he completely took out Duncan Robinson out the game, and that was great.
How would you assess how you guys played against Miami's zone tonight?
Say that one more time.
How would you assess how you played against their zone?
Better. Last time we played them, they completely changed the game in their zone, and we ended up losing, I think, because of that. I mean, we played them well the entire game. They went zone, and it just slowed us all the way down last time. But we were prepared, and we worked on it in there in practice, shoot around, and we executed it. I mean, sometimes it slowed us down a couple of times, but for us to be able to get shots out of it, we found guys that we need to find, and it was good for us.
What have you learned in this time without Joel that you're most excited to maybe use with him back, or that you think could be made easier in your game if you were to have him back?
Yeah, I've learned a lot. I went through some things. I mean, and I think when he first went out, it was hard for me to adjust to like the traps and the double teams and stuff like that. I wasn't used to that. And then I realized now, when I can attack, when I should attack, when I can get to the paint and pass, how to kind of manipulate the defense and when they come trap, and I can swing it and get guys open shots. So that's what I think I've gotten better at. And then just being aggressive. Coming out early, I come out extremely aggressive to try to make them, force them to trap, force them to put multiple people on the ball. So now, my teammates get open shots and they're able to execute that way.
Speaking of adjustments, you've also been playing with more ball handlers recently with Cam and Kyle. How do you think that's gone for you so far?
It helps a lot because multiple ball handlers out there, it helps because of the pressure or whatever. But for me, coming off ball screens, they've been trapping a lot. So it's like I can get the ball to K-Lo and kind of play off the ball. You know what I mean? Kind of play off the catch a little bit. And Campaign's been great as well. He's been going extremely hard since he's been here. He's a breath of fresh air.
You mentioned having to make the right plays and knowing when to attack and when to call your own number, whatnot. Do you find that you're having to think through the game as you're playing as much, or is it you're starting to find a freedom and I'm just reading and reacting now?
Yeah, I think I watch a lot of film, so when I watch whoever we're playing before the game, I kind of know now, okay, they're going to do this. They've done this in the past to certain guards, and I try to go off that. And then when I go into the game, if they change their coverage, if they change, now I'm reading and reacting. And once I figure that out, now I'm just going out there and playing. And I think that's one thing that Joel has told me that he's gotten better at over the years, is just manipulating the defense, knowing how they're going to try, how he can get other guys open, how he can get himself open and going. And I'm just trying to implement that in my game as well.
Just looking ahead to this road trip, obviously you guys are going to be playing the Clippers on this trip. I guess, what are your thoughts and feelings on facing James again? And what's kind of the biggest lesson that you took from him during his time here?
I learned a lot from James. I say it all the time. I appreciate him, and I still talk to him to this day. So I can't wait to see him, hug him and guard him a little bit and mess with him a little bit. But It's gonna be great, honestly. But can't focus on the Clippers. We gotta focus on Phoenix right now. You know what I mean? It's gonna be a tough 4-game road trip for us. We'll go out there and get a little sun and try to win some games.
You had a lot of success from mid-range tonight, Tyrese. I know the league has transitioned to a lot of threes and layups, but as you head toward the playoffs, how much is that in your mind that's got to be part of the package for you?
Yeah, for me, last year, it's funny. I'm going to bring this up, and I know my dad's probably going to watch this, but when I was in high school, he's just like, all you want to do is shoot threes and layups, shoot threes and layups. And I'm like, threes are 3 points and layups are easy. But now he's like, you need to learn, work on your pull-up, work on your pull-up, work on your pull-up. And I was like, man, then I get to the NBA, they're like, we only want to shoot threes and layups. But now it's like it's a little bit different because it's only so close you can get, especially when the defense is like focused on you. So instead of like sometimes challenging bigs, if I can get to a certain spot and work my way there and just rise up and shoot a nice little touch shot, nice little midi, then that's the best shot at that possession. And I've been working on it a lot, and I trust it now. So it's going to be big come playoff time because, like everybody, all teams do in the playoff, they try to take away threes and they try to take away layups. So, shout out to Sam because he always says those are fourth quarter and playoff shots, and I think we're going to need some of those.
So you're saying your dad was right? Have you admitted that to him?
He was right, and I told him. I think right after All-Star break, I said, man, you were right, man. I have to implement a pull-up game, but it's different though. Like my role was different, last year and in years past. So I didn't need it as much then, but I think it'll come in handy late.
You mentioned the zone. Is it frustrating how you guys feel like we've strung together a couple of good sequences against zone, like you figured it out, and as soon as that happens, Miami goes to full court press, and then that junks you up a little bit as well. Trying to figure that out. Is that frustrating for you guys?
You can't get frustrated in a time. You just got to kind of stay the course. They made a run. I don't know if they took the lead or not. I can't remember, but they made a run, and for us, we just stayed the course. Got Kalo back in the game, another ball handler. A veteran with a sound mind, and it was good for us. So you got to stay the course. That's what you got to do. That's what the Miami does. They change defenses. They're extremely aggressive. They're physical. And, hey, you got to be ready for that when you play the Heat.
Kelly's been super enthusiastic about the speed that you guys have been able to share, especially games like tonight. What has it been like to play with someone who's potentially as fast as you and loves playing with you so much?
Yeah, Kelly's been great. He's had so many different roles this year. He's came off the bench. He started. He had to, sometimes be second option, third option, fourth option. You got to cut. You got to play ISO. Got to make threes and got to guard the best player. He's been guarding, really well this year. So shout out to Kelly, man. He's been great. He's been great for us, and we're going to keep needing him to do that, and especially towards playoff time.
On a lot of your layups this year, you've been getting a lot of goaltending calls drawn on you. Do you make anything of that you're kind of throwing the defense off course? And did you know that you're leading the league in those type of shots?
In goaltending field goals?
Goaltending that you've drawn, yeah.
Wow. There's a stat for everything nowadays. But I think that's just a timing thing. I always talked about, like, when I was younger, I knew I was going to be small. I knew I was going to be this height. So it's like guys like Bam Adebayo, he's extremely athletic. And he's like, he can block shots in any type of way. So if I can ever just throw the defense off of jumping off the wrong foot or using my inside hand or using the outside leg, I've always worked on like awkward layups all the time. And it helps throwing off that rhythm and timing from the defense.
Thanks,